100 days of hardcore survival. This is exactly what our new video will be about. Our hero Arseniy, or simply Archie, found himself in an unfamiliar country completely alone. Fate played a cruel joke on him. He fell into the hands of scammers who ruthlessly stole all his money and passport, leaving him with nothing. Now Archie has to survive with only 1,000 simoleons in his pocket, which he miraculously managed to keep safe from the greedy hands of criminals. With the blessing of fate, Archie was able to buy and set up a tent by the sea. He also had a cabin for solitude and a shower for maintaining cleanliness. The most interesting part is yet to come. Our Archie possesses 3 bright and unusual personality traits. He is a kleptomaniac, selfish, and an incredibly active person. Before we continue to follow the incredible adventures of Archie, I want to ask you for one small but very important favor. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give a thumbs up, and leave your comment. Your feedback helps me create even more engaging content. To stay updated on all the news and be the first to know about new videos, subscribe to my Telegram channel. Since Arseniy had neither money nor a job, he was fully determined not to give up and set out to explore the island. He wanted to understand what could be found here and tried to meet the locals to learn about job opportunities. While walking the empty street, he met a guy with whom he started talking. The guy couldn't suggest to Uncle Archie how he could earn some money. However, the meeting was not in vain. Arseniy gained hope that with each new acquaintance, he would be closer to his goal. Archie was determined to befriend his new acquaintance, visit him, and steal many valuable things from him. However, when Archie arrived at the guest's place, he was shocked to see that his new friend had a family, a wife, and children. At first, his plan seemed simple and flawless, but gradually, as he enjoyed their company, he began to feel his cunning schemes melting away before his eyes. The family turned out to be so warm and welcoming, Archie befriended them. They treated him to a delicious dinner, and he, having offered to help, assisted in preparing the dish over the fire. Time flew by unnoticed, and all thoughts of the theft seemed to dissolve in the warm light of the family hearth. In the end, the most he was able to steal was a little food to take with him, hardly a great theft. Reflecting on what happened, Archie realized that he becomes too attached to people, and this hinders his plans. Deciding to act differently, he went to public places, believing it would be easier to steal something there. But even here, luck was not on his side. He was immediately caught red-handed. Refusing to give up, Archie decided to try breaking into houses, but even here he faced failure. The locks turned out to be too strong, and all his attempts failed. Disheartened and disappointed, he realized that the world is full of unexpected difficulties, but also unexpected joys that can change the firmest intentions. Since Arseniy has not been able to earn any money, he decided to go fishing to prepare something for himself for dinner. But nothing was going right. He couldn't catch a single fish. However, in the distance, he noticed a lonely canoe, and to distract himself from his failures, he paddled over to it. Settling into the canoe, Archie decided to lighten his sadness a bit by enjoying the moment and snacking on the food he had taken from his visit. In the boat, Archie sank into memories. A melody from his childhood played in his head. Let dear mom hear, let mom please come, let mom surely indeed find me. For it certainly cannot be in this world that children are lost. These words reminded him that he had never seen his parents, and in such difficult moments, he had no one to turn to for help, support, and guidance. Swaying on the waves, Archie felt loneliness enveloping his heart. But despite everything, he believed that one day he would find his way and discover those who would become his family and support. Late in the evening, Arseniy decided to go to a bar, hoping to meet some useful people there. However, apart from drink enthusiasts, he found no one. Disappointed, Arseniy decided to do what was left in his situation, to rummage through a trash bin in search of valuable items. This activity brought him no pleasure, only added to his bitterness. Returning to his tent, he first took a shower to wash away all traces of this humiliating activity. However, while examining the found items, Arseniy realized that he was lucky. Among the trash, there were several valuable items. Selling these items brought him some money, which he decided to use wisely. With the money he earned, Arseniy bought several items to improve his comfort. Realizing that he wasn't a great fisherman, he purchased a fish trap, a grill, a small table, and a chair. In addition, he decided to invest in further earnings and bought small farms for insect breeding. Arseniy thought this should be uncomplicated yet profitable activity. Hope for a better future returned to Arseniy once again. With each small step, he was getting closer to his dream, to build his new life, full of stability and happiness. His life was gradually getting better. Summer by the sea began to bring Arseniy joy and tranquility. He bought himself a beach towel to sunbathe under the warm sun. Deciding to make the most of his experience, Arseniy accepted the situation as it was. Since he found himself on an island in a foreign country without money, he would enjoy the moment, while still striving for his better life. Periodically, he continued to get to know the locals. Many of them knew about his troubles, but they could not help due to their family issues. No one knew how to return his passport or help him find a job without documents. However, this did not break Arseniy. He persistently sought ways to improve his life. One morning, Archer gathered his first harvest of insects. The sale of this harvest brought him a little money. Although the amount was small, it was enough to feed himself for the near future. He also discovered a new activity, searching for various items on the beach. Sometimes he managed to find quite good things that could be sold for a decent amount. Thus, step by step, Arseniy continued to move forward. He increasingly enjoyed living by the sea, finding pleasure in each day, in every new acquaintance, and in every small success. Although the path to a better life was difficult and thorny, Arseniy believed that in time, everything would work out for him. Day by day, Arseniy's life flowed in a calm and measured rhythm. He got used to it and even felt quite satisfied. His friend would occasionally go fishing with him or just come in the evening to sit by the campfire. These quiet evenings by the fire with pleasant conversations and the sounds of the night sea helped both of them unwind from the routine and enjoy the moment. After some time, Arseniy decided to expand his opportunities and bought a beehive to also earn money from honey. Working with insects was going well for him, and he quickly mastered the new business. However, the money was still only enough for survival. Every morning began with caring for the bees and insects, and then Arseniy would head to the beach to search for valuable finds or go fishing. Gradually, his small farm began to yield more fruits, and this filled him with hope for a bright future. At night, sitting by the campfire and watching the stars, Arseniy reflected on his life. Despite all the difficulties, he learned to appreciate the simple joys and saw in each day an opportunity for a new beginning. He enjoyed this harmony with nature, the opportunity to work with his hands and feel the results of his efforts. And even though there was only enough money to survive, Arseniy didn't lose faith in a better future. He knew that with perseverance and patience, he would one day be able to rebuild his life, find stability and happiness. And for now, he enjoyed what he had and was grateful for each new day. After some time, his farm grew, and Arseniy bought many more small houses for the insects. Every day was immersed in routine, tranquility, and familiar concerns. Nothing foreshadowed changes until one day he heard cries coming from the ocean. Looking into the distance, Arseniy saw a girl sadly struggling in the water. Without hesitation, he rushed to her aid. His heart was pounding as he made his way through the waves, but finally he pulled her onto the shore. Water dripped from her long hair, and her eyes shone with gratitude and fear. When they reached the shore, the girl hugged him tightly, and Arseniy felt something click inside him. They began to talk and couldn't take their eyes off each other. Arseniy felt his heart fill with warmth and tenderness. It was as if he had fallen in love at first sight, but he tried not to show it. Nevertheless, he offered the girl to stay and spend some time together. She agreed, and in her gaze, the same interest and curiosity could be read. Arseniy told her about his farm, his adventures, and how he ended up on the island. She listened to him with such attention that it seemed to him as if the whole world had shrunk to the size of their little corner by the ocean. They laughed, shared stories, and perhaps in those moments, something more began to develop between them. They lay on the sand, looked at the stars, and enjoyed the quiet evening. After Wiki left, Arseniy felt a bit lost. He was so enchanted by the girl that all his thoughts were only about her, and he hoped for a new meeting. Arseniy's farm was bringing in more and more money, and the finds on the beach were adding to his stock of valuables. He had already accumulated decent sum. On one of those days when Archie was preparing food on the grill, memories of Wiki were swirling in his mind. Unable to bear it any longer, he invited her on a date to enjoy the dinner he had prepared together. On Saturday evening, Wiki arrived. The ocean waves gently swayed in the background, a pleasant breeze enveloping them both. They sat, looking into each other's eyes and engaging in pleasant conversations. After dinner, they went swimming in the ocean under the starry sky. This moment was so magical that a dolphin appeared next to them. Apparently, it sensed two loving hearts. Time flew by unnoticed, and Wiki only went home at 4 a.m. With a pleasant feeling in his heart, Archie went to sleep. But barely awake, he received a strange call from Wiki. She said that she liked another person. It was an unexpected and strange call. Archie was confident in their mutual affection, and now this message shook him. Walking along the beach, he continued to attend to his business. But the question about Wiki and their unclear relationship would not leave his mind. Despite the sad news, luck smiled on Archie in another way. He caught a lot of different fish in his trap. He made fish kebabs, sat down to eat, and thought about what to do next. Should Arseniy invite Wiki for another date or wait for her to take the initiative? Thinking about what to do, he realized that his heart was telling him to fight for Wiki. Perhaps one date was not enough to reveal the full depth of his feelings. On the other hand, he did not want to pressure her or force her into anything, realizing that true love must be mutual. Thoughts of Wiki did not leave Archie, but he understood that the work on the small farm could not wait. While collecting honey and tending to the insects, he tried to distract himself from his worries. The day passed unnoticed, and barely finishing all his tasks, Archie received a call from a friend. Macau invited him to a bar, and Archie gladly agreed. He always felt comfortable in the company of Macau, and their conversations were filled with sincerity and fun. In the bar, during a lively conversation, two women joined them. One was their peer, while the other was an elderly lady. The conversation smoothly transitioned from one topic to another. At some point, an elderly woman began to share her story. She spoke of her grief. Many years ago, her former suitor kidnapped their 4-year-old son. She was no longer with the man, and despite all her efforts, the police reports, and her own searches, she was unable to find her child. The police were powerless. Her ex-suitor was later imprisoned in Mexico for selling illegal substances. The woman recounted how she went to Mexico, visited all the orphanages and police stations, but without success. The police informed her that when the man was arrested, there were no children with him and the interrogations didn't work. The man denied that he had kidnapped anyone, but she did not give up and managed to secure a meeting with him in prison, desperately begging him to tell her where their son is, offering money and willing to agree to any conditions, but the man did not want to talk. In her desperate search, the woman learned that her ex was involved in smuggling and traveled with goods to different countries. She suggested that he might have left the boy in one of those countries and had been continuing her search for 30 years, visiting police stations and orphanages in each new city, trying to find out at least something. Archie listened carefully to her story, and with each passing minute it became clearer to him. He also did not have a mother. He grew up in an orphanage, and his heart suggested that this woman could be his mom. But he did not show any signs and said nothing about being an orphan. The evening was coming to an end, and after such a heavy conversation, Archie needed some time to collect himself and start having fun with the company again. This meeting and the story of the elderly woman left a deep mark on Archie's soul. His thoughts revolved around her words, and he couldn't shake the feeling that fate had sent him a sign. He knew that long reflections and possibly important decisions that would change his life forever lay ahead of him. When Archie returned home, he lay on his towel, looking up at the sky, and thoughts swirled in his head. What if that was my mom and I missed her? If her story is true, then she is not to blame for me growing up in an orphanage. She dedicated her whole life to searching, and I missed her. Along with these thoughts, images of Vika surfaced in my mind and a desire to talk to her. For a moment, Archie felt like he was going crazy. He decided to go take a nap to rest from his thoughts. As they say, morning is wiser than evening. In the morning, Arseniy began working on his farm. Thoughts from the night still swirled in his head, but the work required his attention, and he had not yet decided to speak to either of the women. He worked, took a shower, ate, then sold all his harvest and began building his new dream house. Archie has always dreamed of a house with a pier where he could have a jet ski. He spent almost all his money on a jet ski, even though it meant an unfinished dream house. He used the remaining money to buy 2 loungers, which he placed on the pier. Nature had become an integral part of his life, and Archie enjoyed every moment spent by the ocean. The money was enough to install the roof, walls, and do the stonework on the pier, but that was it. The money ran out. Archie continued to work on his farm to earn money for continuation of building his dream house. Thoughts of his meeting with elderly woman and Vika kept swirling in his mind. He hoped that one day he would find answers to his question and be able to build not only a house but also a new happy life. Archie understood that his life had changed. He became more determined and resolute, ready to overcome difficulties. Successes on the farm brought him joy, but thoughts of a possible mother and Vika did not leave him. Each and every day he sought to find the answers he sought and build his own future on solid foundations. Working on the farm became for him not only a source of income but also a way to find inner peace. Caring for his insects, he found solace and peace and calmed his mind. In the evenings, lying on the pier and listening to the whisper of the waves, Archie reflected on his life, on how much more there was to learn and experience. He knew that new meetings and discoveries awaited him ahead, and he was ready for them. In the evening, Archie was strolling through the shops when he suddenly saw the very elderly woman who had spoken about her sorrow last time. He decided to approach her and talk to her. Word by word, they began to speak again about her missing son. Finally, Archie gathered the courage and told her that he does not know his parents. The woman froze in shock. She took out a photograph in which she was holding a small boy and handed it to him. Archie immediately recognized himself in this child. They embraced tightly, and the mother whispered in her son's ear, "I will never give you to anyone again." Then they couldn't stop talking all night, sharing stories about their lives and everything they had been through. When Archie returned home, he couldn't calm down from the excitement for a long time. Lying down, he thought about how happy he was to have found his mother. Inspired by joy, he went out at night to ride his jet ski. Then he returned home and went to sleep. In the morning, after having breakfast, Archie decided to invite his mother. It soon became clear that she did not have a home of her own, as she had been traveling to different countries in search of her son. Without hesitation, Archie offered her to move in with him and immediately got to work on renovating the house. He worked with special diligence, striving to create a cozy and comfortable home for himself and his mother. The walls that he had recently begun to build now took on a new meaning. This house was meant to be a place where they could make up for lost years and start a new life together. Archie felt an incredible uplift and inspiration. He understood that new horizons were opening up before him and that he was no longer alone. His mother was nearby and they could build the future together. In Archie's house, cozy rooms were arranged. A separate bedroom was made for his mother. His own bedroom, bathroom, and kitchen were also arranged. The living room was combined with the hallway and corridor. Archie tried to make all the rooms as comfortable as possible for his mother, while he chose minimalism for himself, to which he had become accustomed over the past few years. In his room, he only placed a bed and nothing more. In his mother's room, he placed many crafting items, knowing how much she loved to caress children's clothes, imagining that her son would wear these things. Since the plot had no amenities, Archie installed candle-based lamps instead of regular ones and placed a wood-burning stove in the kitchen. Despite this, the house turned out to be very cozy. When the renovations were finished, Archie went to grill meat for himself and his mother. While he was cooking, his mother decided to start knitting a new sweater that her son would soon be able to wear. After dinner, Archie showed his mother his small farm so she could help him. They had a great time together, chatting and enjoying each other's company. During the conversation, his mother told Archie that if he really liked Wiki, he should take action and invite her on a date. Inspired by her advice, Archie immediately called Wiki to a nearby bar. Archie and Wiki chatted sweetly, both happy to see each other. There was a warmth and flutter between them that is often felt at the beginning of a relationship. But as soon as Archie confessed his feelings to her and said that he wanted a relationship with her, Wiki unexpectedly stood up and left, without saying a word. Archie was left in confusion. He sat in the bar for a long time, processing what had happened. Returning home, he shared with his mother what had happened. His mother listened to him, hugged him gently, and then said that perhaps Wiki needed time to sort out her feelings. Sometimes people fear intimacy, especially when they unexpectedly find what they have long dreamed of, she said. Archie understood that he needed to give Wiki time and space, but deep down, he hoped that this was not the end of their story, and that one day they could meet again, and perhaps everything would be different. Meanwhile, he continued to work on his farm, arrange the house, and enjoy the company of his mother, who had finally been found. Archie decided to take a break and invited his best friend Macau over. They sat by the shore, chatting about everything, sharing their feelings and memories. Macau, understanding Archie's state, offered to teach him how to fish, as he had more experience in this matter. The meeting with his friend came at just the right time. Archie had a good time, filled himself with positive emotions, and slept soundly all night. In the morning, he woke up feeling refreshed and energetic. After his morning workout, Archie found his mother waiting for him in the kitchen with breakfast. During breakfast, Archie told her about his plans for the day and said he was going to invite Wiki on a date again. His mother supported him, encouragingly smiling and wishing him good luck. Archie gathered his courage and asked Wiki out on a date to an abandoned site where a sunken ship stood, with the sea visible in the distance. The place was incredibly beautiful and romantic. They were happy to see each other again, and their joy only grew as they began to talk and laugh. But suddenly it started to rain. Instead of ruining the moment, the rain added a touch of romance. Archie decided not to hesitate and kissed Wiki. It was their first kiss, and they both enjoyed it. In the rain, they went swimming in the sea, laughing and enjoying every second. Archie held Wiki's hand, kissed her, and embraced her. Their bond was growing stronger. After that, they went to the waterfall. The place was so beautiful and absolutely mesmerizing that they couldn't resist their feelings, and intimacy occurred. Overwhelmed with emotions and a romantic mood, Archie decided without hesitation to propose right there at the waterfall. He knelt down and offered her the ring. But to his surprise and disappointment, Wiki suggested that they take their time and simply enjoy the moments together. Archie took her words as a rejection of their relationship. His heart ached with pain, and not wanting to show his tears, he went home feeling broken and empty. At home, Archie heavy-heartedly told his mother that Wiki had rejected him. He recounted to her every word, every emotion he literally felt at that moment. His mother listened carefully to her son, hugged him, and gently said, "Archie, you misunderstood Wiki. She didn't reject you. She just asked you not to rush into marriage. She said that she wants to continue enjoying moments with you, which means that she wants to be with you, just that she is not ready for such serious steps yet." Archie frowned, but his mother continued to comfort him. "You really rush too much, son. It indeed takes time to get used to yourself, to know yourself better. Give her this time. Keep spending more time with her. Enjoy each other. Sometimes to grow together, you need to take it slow, step by step." The words of Archie's mother seemed to shed light into Archie's soul. He felt the weight on his shoulders beginning to lift. He realized that he needed patience. that he should not give up, as there are still many wonderful moments ahead, and he is ready to enjoy each of them together with Wiki, giving her time and space for their relationship to blossom. 2 years have passed. Archie and Wiki now live together in a wonderful home that Archie had built with such love and care. The house has significantly expanded, becoming cozy and spacious enough to accommodate all its inhabitants, as Archie and Wiki already had one little one, and Wiki was pregnant with their second child. Every morning began with the joyful laughter of the child, who ran around the house playing with his grandmother. Archie's mother, like a guardian angel, lived with them and happily helped raise her grandson, filling the home with warmth and tenderness. She often told her son stories about her journey in search of Archie, inspiring him to dream and seek adventures. Despite all the trials that have come his way, Archie has become a true support for his family. He continued to work on his farm, which thrived, bringing in a stable income. In evenings, he sat on the porch with Wiki, enjoying sunsets and listening to the soothing sound of the ocean. They dreamed of the future, planned new adventures, and made plans for their children. Wiki, with her belly filled with a new miracle of life, was glowing with happiness. She often recalled the day when Archie saved her from the water as a symbol of their fateful meeting. And her heart was full of love and gratitude for each of them, for her husband, who was her protector and friend, for her son, who brought her joy every day, and for her mother-in-law, who had become like a second mother to her. In the evenings, the whole family gathered around the large table, sharing the joys and worries of the day. They laughed, told stories, and absolutely enjoyed every minute spent together. Their genuine happiness and contentment and joy lay in these simple yet precious moments. Their home, filled with laughter and love, has become the embodiment of a dream that has come true. The life of Archie and Wiki was filled with light and harmony. They knew that many happy moments lay ahead of them and were grateful for each new day spent together. Thus, they lived harmoniously and happily, surrounded by love and support for each other, confident that all difficulties were behind them and that only joy and prosperity awaited them ahead. Thank you all very much for your attention. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and leave comments. Your feedback inspires and motivates me to create new engaging videos. Until we meet again.